want to thank the Alpha Leaders team for having me on this channel. It's been a special invite for me because, I've been following you guys for a minute now. And for those of you who are not following the Alpha Leaders, you need to go over there and follow right away, whether it's on YouTube, IG, whatever it is. Make sure you give a nice like, follow, subscribe, everything. Okay, whatever you guys need to do to get into this crowd, man. Because, if you're not in this group right here, okay, I don't know if you're getting the best that you could possibly get. I'm Joe Hammond, founder of JH Overcomes, overcoming adversity one day at a time. And I am a former police officer of 20 years. And now I'm out here just giving my gift to the world, man. I think that's one of the biggest things that we really need to understand is that we all have a gift. And I didn't understand my gift, for a while. But once I started understanding it, and once I started understanding what it was that I needed to give back to the world, I stopped being so selfish, right? Because that's exactly what's happening. If you're not giving back to the world, then you're being selfish. All right. I am a father of two. I have a brand new granddaughter, which is so enlightening for me, right? My son is, married. We gave me my first grandchild, and now I'm walking in legacy. I'm walking in that legacy phase, and we talk about it all the time about how, we want to take care of our kids and our kids' kids. But here we are now, and here I am, specifically on that grandparent stage, and I'm young, I'm 51, I feel good. That was the plan to still feel good, to still be healthy about it, be able to play with my grandkids. And, God, saw so that absolutely I'm here to do that. So, thank you guys for having me, here on the channel to be able to explain and to be able to give you my story. And I look forward to this interview. I really do look forward to this interview. Today, we're going to be talking about one, getting started, okay, which is one of the biggest problems that we have in our world today, people getting started, the fear of getting started. Two, we're going to talk about, the inheritance, okay, what is it that we're inheriting? What is it that we're passing down? And three, we're going to talk about those fears, the difference between the good fear and that negative fear that's paralyzing us. One of the biggest things we have in this world today is a fear of getting started, right? We don't like to start small. I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't know if we're afraid of the process. I don't know if we're afraid of, of getting started because we're afraid of what people are going to think about us, or because we're afraid of actually succeeding, right? Some of us are afraid of succeeding because we feel as if, if we actually succeed at something, we're going to have to uphold that, right? That's a real fear, man. It's a real fear, but getting started, okay, when you break it down, starting small is the best way to get started. Start small. Okay. Stop thinking so big. We have to stop thinking so big, during the process of it all. Okay. I'm not saying don't dream big in the beginning. Okay. Because that's where the thought process comes from. Every single thing that we look at in this world, every single thing, and we've heard this before, but this is not the first time you're hearing this. Every single thing started somewhere. Okay. I don't care if it's the chair that you're sitting in right now, or the car that you're driving, or, that big, beautiful billboard that you're driving past right now. Everything started as someone's idea, right? And when that happens, what's the difference between the idea and what's the difference between getting started? Okay, start small. Okay, keep it very, very simple. One of the cliches that we always hear about, that we always talk about, and you guys, if you follow me, you know that, I'm not big on cliches. I'm not really big on it, because, one of the biggest ones is keep it simple, KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid, right? But keep it simple. It's become a cliche, but it's really true. Okay, this is something that we need to do to understand that the process is going to take time. Anything that's worth having in this world, anything that's worth, okay, key word right there, guys. Key word is worth having in this world is going to take time, and it's not going to come easy. It's going to take some time to build. So what's happening is once you start thinking too big during the process, then you'll start taking, then you start overthinking. And then you'll start taking information from everywhere and everyone instead of breaking it down step by step by step. Okay. I had to learn how to understand that a successful life is only going to come from successful days stacked upon one another, right? So break that down day by day by day. Start by having a successful day. Okay. Start by having a successful hour. Break it down even further. If you have to, one of the biggest practices that I've developed for myself is I'm going to break it down hour by hour throughout today. I'm going to write down what I want to get done in this specific hour, start the clock, and then I'll gauge myself at the end of that. I'll go back and look at the stop clock and see, okay, what I could have done better in this amount of time. Okay, I'll think about, how much did I procrastinate, right? Because that's one of the biggest things. How much did I procrastinate? But start breaking it down little by little by little. Some of you have these great ideas, man, these big, beautiful ideas, but for some reason, okay, you're not getting started because you're thinking about biting off so much at a time instead of biting it off little by little. Okay, start small. Okay, dream big, and then get the process done one day at a time. And I promise you, if you keep doing it that way, breaking it down, you're going to be successful at it. Okay, with that repetition, okay, with the, persistence, with doing it over and over and over again every single day without ceasing. And some of it is not even our fault, right? It's not even our fault. Some of these things have been passed down to us, right? Some of the negative thinking, some of the negative habits that we have, it's been passed down to us generation to generation. Now, I'm not going to give you an easy out here either, though. Okay, I want you guys to understand that it's not an easy out, an excuse that we can constantly use because, listen, we all have some kind of, excuse that we can use for not succeeding, right? Or not getting things done. We could blame our parents, we could blame, our relatives, we could blame our spouse, our loved ones. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you. But here's the thing. Some of the things that we're doing, some of the things that have been done, prior to us have been passed down generation to generation, right? We have people who, pass down and we inherit, finances, we inherit property. But what are some of the other things that we're inheriting, from people that have gone before us? Some of us have inherited poor thinking, poor eating habits. Some of us have inherited alcohol, drug use, the way we speak, the way we carry ourselves. Some of these things have been passed down generation to generation, right? And now it's time for you to really understand the fact that you can start a new wave of things, right? You can start a new wave of thinking by passing on good eating habits, good mental health, okay, good financial education and ways of building that generational wealth that we talk about all the time. We talk about generational wealth all the time, right? But what does it really mean? Is it just finances? No, it's not just finances. Some of the things that we have inherited are damaging us from the inside out, and we can fix that. Everything that's happened in this world has started somewhere. Everything negative has started somewhere, but there's also things in this world that have started positive, and it can start with you. You can be the first one to start passing down, generational wealth in the form of good eating habits, good dating habits. Okay, who are you bringing home every day and night when it comes down to you having children in your life? The drinking that you're doing. Are you casually drinking every single night and thinking that it's so casual that your children are not picking up on it? These are all the things that we need to realize that generation to generation, some of the things that we're doing have been passed on to us generation to generation. And we have to realize that we can break that. Don't think that you have to be confined by that or handcuffed to a way that your parents used to think. And I'm not saying your parents, I'll use my parents as an example. My parents didn't have the best financial health, right? And I realized that I can fix that. Okay. And it wasn't because of poor, judgment all the time. Sometimes they were just doing what they knew, right? Sometimes your parents, sometimes the people that they have come before you, they were just doing what they knew, right? And everything that has been done now or is being done now, it's a new way of doing things. I mean, look at us right now. We're conducting a full interview, right? on Zoom, on a channel, where you're in one part of the country and I'm in another part of the country, right? Everything evolves. And if we don't evolve, okay, into understanding that some of the things that we have been passed on to us and we can fix that, then we're going to stay stuck. So be very, very careful about what you're passing down generation to generation, because they are watching, whether you believe it or not. I came from a generation um, of a lot of men, okay? And not all those men were good role models. Not all those men were good examples. My father, my biological father being one of them. My biological father, I haven't seen since I was 5 years old, okay? I haven't seen him. I know where he is and I know he still exists, but he didn't set the best example for me. And I know that some of those things still reside in me. Okay, some of those habits, some of those negative things, they still live inside of me. And it's a constant battle. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's a constant battle. Some of the things I know I have from him, and I don't even know him, right? It's just a certain feeling that I have, a certain feeling that I get, but if it's not constantly addressed, okay, you will take on the habits of people that have gone before you. The men in my life, I grew up around, drugs and alcohol and all those things, people who have gone on and died of using those things and doing those things. And this is not shade. Okay. This is not, talking negative about them. It's just facts. Okay. But you realize that, okay, I can change that. I don't have to be that way. I don't have to keep continuing to pass that on because, well, this is what I grew up around. So this is the way I talk, or this is what I grew up around. So this is the way, I carry myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. They were great people. No, you have to realize that whatever you're passing on, okay, that has been passed on to you, you can stop that. Okay, you can recreate that DNA if for lack of a better word. Don't think that you're married to this, or don't think that you have to carry this on with you day after day after day. Realize that you can make a change. Everything negative in this world started somewhere, but everything positive in this world also started somewhere. And it can start with you. What's one of the biggest things that have been passed on to us? Fear. I think fear, fear of overcoming, fear of doing things differently, fear of being judged. If you grew up and, your parents or your loved ones always told you that, no one in our family is ever going to be successful. Or if you grew up in a circle, your friends, the people that you're around right now, where no one is very successful, no one has done anything that's been extravagant, you'll have a certain fear about stepping out. Okay, some of that fear is going to be fear of succeeding, right? And how people are going to view you because, oh, you think you're better than everyone else now because, you succeeded at something, or you think that, you're all high and mighty. No, it's not that. It's just that I got tired of settling. Okay, I didn't want to settle anymore. And that's what we're doing. We're settling because of fear, right? Now, there's good fear out there, but there's also that negative fear that paralyzes us from doing things. And that's the big difference. Fear is a normal emotion, right? It was given to us by God, just like anything else. We cry, we laugh, we have emotions, we have fear, certain things that cause our body to react in a certain way. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to have fear. What's not okay is to be paralyzed by that fear. Okay, because that fear that's paralyzing you is holding you back from being the person that God created you to be in the first place, right? So if you were created to be a speaker, or if you were created to be a cook, if you were created to do something a little bit more extravagant than the other people around you, and you're letting that fear paralyze you, then you're not living up to your greatest potential that you were created for. Okay? Don't worry about what people think about you, or, how people criticize you, or even failing. I remember when I was, going out for the SWAT team, and I had this great fear come over me because I was older than everyone else, right? And the test was geared towards, towards certain people, a certain age group. And I was way beyond that age group. I was in my 40s, right? And I knew that there were only 3 spots available, but that fear didn't keep me from doing it. Okay. I got up every morning. Okay. I stayed up late every night. I ran down to the track, hopped fences, broke into places just to get a good workout in. And, over time, what happened was the person I started to become in the process far became better than anything that I was even dreaming of becoming when it came down to that actual process of what I was doing it for. Right. So it was no longer about becoming a team member. It was now a part of, okay, look at what I've created within me or found within me that has become so much better and so much stronger during the process. But it never would have happened had I not overcome that fear. I was afraid to do this interview. Okay. When you guys called me, but then I had to check myself and say, you know what? No, they're calling me for a reason. Okay. They're calling me because I have something to give to them and to give to the world. And if I let that fear paralyze me and hold me back, then I'm being selfish. Okay, so some of you are being selfish with your fears, man. Some of you are being selfish with your gifts. You were given certain things in this world, but it wasn't given to you for you. It was given to you so that you can help someone else and pass it along to other people who may need it. People who are sick, some of you who are, battling cancer, or battling certain diseases that you're going through. Some of you who are, battling financial stress or financial, problems. Some of you who have just lost your home, or, you've gone through that terrible, terrible breakup, divorce, you've been cheated on, or, he cheated on you, she cheated on you, whatever it is, there's someone out there that needs your story. But if you allow your fears to paralyze you, if you allow those fears to hold you back, there's a small part of you that's being selfish. You really need to get that out and help someone else. Help someone else become better. Help someone else heal the way that you have healed. All right. I'm your boy, Joe JH Overcomes. I want to thank you guys so much for having me, on this channel. Again, Alpha Team, I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Okay, if you guys are not following the Alpha Leaders, get out there and follow them. I promise you that you're going to find everything that you need on this channel. I'm your boy, Joe, and you can follow me on social media anywhere. Just look up Joe Hammond, JH Overcomes, and you'll find me there. And drop a like, drop a follow, drop anything that says that you were here with me on this Alpha Leaders group. Okay, in this Alpha Leaders group. And I promise you, man, I'll give you a special shout out if that means anything to you. All right, I'm your boy, Joe JH Overcomes. I will see you when I see you. But until then, peace. And I mean that literally, people. Peace.